Let us read about the book. A treat for mosquitoes. Blood test. Rajat is back at school today. He had been absent for many days. How are you now? Asked Aarti. I'm all right, Rajat replied softly. Just Rajat, you must have played a lot while you were at home. Rajat was telling. Who wants to play when you have fever? On top of it, I had to take a bitter medicine. I even had a blood test. A blood test? Why? It must have been very painful. Actually, when the needle pricked my finger, it felt like an ant bite. They took 2 to 3 drops of blood and sent it for testing. That's how we came to know that I had malaria. But you get malaria when a mosquito bites you. Yes, but we find out by the blood test. There are a lot of mosquitoes in my house these days, but I did not get malaria. Nancy says that who says that every mosquito bites causes malaria? Malaria spreads only by the disease carrying mosquitoes. Arti, all mosquitoes look the same to me. There must be some difference. Taking blood on the glass slide for test, malaria spreads through female mosquitoes, Anopheles. Dr. Mariam, looking at the blood slide under the microscope, this microscope makes things look 1,000 times bigger. The details inside the blood can be seen clearly. There are some microscopes which make things look even more bigger than this one. Did they take blood from the place where the mosquito had bitten you? Of course not. How do I know when and where the mosquito bit me? But how could they find out that you had malaria by your blood test? Do you think they could see something in the blood? Do you think they could see something in the blood? Find out. Do you know anyone who has had malaria? How did they find out that they had malaria? How did they find out that they had malaria? What problems did they have on having malaria? What problems did they have on having malaria? What other diseases can be caused by mosquito bites? In which season is malaria more common? Why do you think this happens? What do you do in your house to protect yourself from mosquitoes? Also, find out from your friends about what they do. Look at the report of the blood test given here. Which words in the report help us to know that the person has malaria? Clinical pathology report. Name, Rajat, age 11, male. Diagnosis, fever with chills and rigors. Malarial parasite found in sample. Medicine for malaria. From early times, the dried and powdered bark of cinchona tree was used to make medicine for malaria. Earlier, people used to boil the bark powder and strain the water which was given to patients. Now, tablets are made from this. Anemia. What's that? You know, I also had to get blood test done. But they took a syringe full of blood. The blood test showed that I had anemia. What is that? The doctor said that there is a less hemoglobin or iron in the blood. The doctor gave some medicines to give me strength. He also said that I should eat jaggery, amla, and more green leafy vegetables because these have iron. Nancy, how can there be iron in our blood? How can there be iron in our blood? There was something about this in the newspaper yesterday. So, then you ate iron or what? Silly. This is not the iron used to make these keys. I don't know exactly what it was. After I ate a lot of vegetables and whatever the doctor had said, my hemoglobin went up. You can bring your blood report in the class and discuss with the children. Anemia common in Delhi school. 17 November 2007. Thousands of children studying in the municipal corporation schools Delhi suffer from anemia. This is affecting both their physical as well as mental health. Due to anemia, children do not grow well and their energy levels are low. This also affects their ability to study properly. Now, health checkups are being done in the schools and health cards are being made for all the children. Anemic children are also being given iron tablets. Clinical pathology report. Central Government Health Scheme. Name Aarti, age 12, female. Diagnosis anemia. Hemoglobin 8 gram per 12 gram. Normal range is 12 to 16 gram per deciliter. Clinical pathology report. Arthi hemoglobin 10.5 gram per deciliter. Look at Arthi's blood report and find out the minimum record hemoglobin. Find out minimum record. How much did Arthi's hemoglobin go up and how long did it take for that? What does the newspaper report say about the problems caused by anemia? Have you or anyone in your family ever needed to get a blood test? When and why? A discussion can be initiated in the classroom about how disease spread through the housefly. Newspaper reports can also be used in the class. What was found out by the blood test? Have you had a health checkup in your school? What did the doctor tell you? What did the doctor tell you? Find out. Ask a doctor or elders about the food items which they contain iron. Baby mosquitoes. Jaskirat, there is a poster on malaria just outside our class. Everyone goes out to look. Are you inviting mosquitoes? Beware. They spread malaria, dengue, chikungunya. Don't let water collect around your house. Fill up the pits. Keep the water pots and cooler tanks clean. They should be dried every week. Use mosquito nets to protect yourself. Spray kerosene if water has collected some place. The poster says something about larvae. What are those? Nancy, they are baby mosquitoes, but they don't look like mosquitoes at all. Where did you see them? Where did you see them? Nancy, there was an old pot lying behind our house. It was full of water for some days. When I looked there, I saw some tiny thread-like gray things swimming. I was surprised when Mummy told me that these had come out of the eggs which mosquitoes lay in water. They are called larvae. I also had something about this on the radio. What did you do? Mosquitoes larvae. Larvae seen through hand lens. What did you do? Papa immediately threw away the water. He cleaned and dried the pot and kept it upside down so that no water would collect. Sasia auntie told me that even flies spread disease, especially stomach problems. But flies don't bite. Then how do they spread disease? Find out and tell. Have you ever seen any poster like this put up in anywhere? Have you ever seen any poster like this put up anywhere? Why do you think puts up such poster or gives ads in the newspaper? What are some of the important points given in the poster? Why do you think pictures of a tank, cooler, and pits are shown in the poster? Think. Why do you think it talks about putting fish in the tank? What do you think the fish eats? What will happen when oil is spread on the water? Find out which diseases are spread by flies and how. Mosquito check. Divide your class into 2 or 3 groups. Each group will go around to check one area in school or around it. It must carefully note if water has collected anywhere and mark where it finds stagnant water: pot, cooler, tank, any open space in the school ground, gutter, any other place. Since how many days has water collected there? Who is responsible for keeping these places clean? Who is responsible for keeping these places clean? Who is supposed to get the gutters and drains repaired? Who is supposed to get the gutters and drains repaired? Can any larvae be seen in the collected water? Has it caused any problem in the area? Right. Make a poster. In your group, make a poster with a message to keep the cooler, tank, drains, and area clean. Whatever water collects, put up your poster in and around your school. Find out who is responsible for keeping the area around your school clean. Write a letter from your class reporting your findings and suggestions. Find out to whom the letter should be written and to which office it should be sent. Survey report. Some children did the survey. Here are some of the reports. We found something green around the taps in our school which is called algae. Due to algae, a kind of plant, it had also become slippery there. The algae spreads a lot during the rainy season. We think that they are some kind of small plants that grow in water. Group 2, there is a pond near the school. At first you cannot see the water in the pond as it's completely covered with plants. One auntie told us that these plants have grown themselves in water Around the pond, there are pits full of water. We also saw some larvae in the water. We moved around. Lots of mosquitoes flew from the plants growing around. Feels that there are so many mosquitoes in our house because of this dirty pond nearby. Is there a pond or river around your house or school? Go and look around and observe these things. Can you see algae in and around the water? Where else have you seen algae? Where else have you seen algae? Are there plants growing on the side or in water? Find out their names. Draw some of these in your notebook. Do you think these were planted by someone or did they grow on their own? Do you think these were planted by someone? These were planted by someone or did they grow on their own? Grow on their own. What else can you see in water? What else can you see in water? Make a list. A scientist peeps into a mosquito's stomach. This interesting incident took place almost 100 years ago. A scientist found out that mosquitoes spread malaria. Let's read about this discovery in his own words. My father was a general in the Indian Army. I studied to become a doctor. But what I really liked was reading stories, writing poetry, music, and drama. In my free time, I enjoyed doing all this. In those days, thousands of people used to die from disease that we now call malaria. The disease was found in areas where there was a lot of rain or in swampy places. People thought that the illness was caused by some poisonous gas that came from the dirty swampy areas. They gave the name malaria, which means bad air. One doctor had seen tiny germs in the blood of one of the patients when he observed it under microscope, but he could not understand how these had got into the patient's blood. But he could not understand how these had got into the patient's blood. My professor had some ideas about this. I think that these must be carried by some kind of mosquito. As a student, I spent all my time chasing mosquitoes to catch and observe. We used to carry empty bottles and chase mosquito after mosquito. Then we would put the mosquitoes into a mosquito net in which there was a patient of malaria. Mosquitoes would have a feast biting these patients. The patients were paid 1 anna for allowing one mosquito to bite them. I will always remember those days at the hospitals in Secunderabad, how we used to cut open mosquito's stomach and peep into it. I would spend hours and hours bent over the microscope. By night, my neck would be stiff, my eyes could not see clearly. It used to be very hot, but we dared not fan ourselves, as all the mosquitoes would fly off in the breeze. Once I also fell ill with malaria. I spent months like this with the microscope but could not find anything. One day we caught few mosquitoes that looked different. They were brownies with spotted wings. When I looked into the stomach of one of these female mosquitoes, I saw something black there. I looked closer. I saw these tiny germs looked just like the ones were found in the blood of malaria patients. At last we had the proof. Mosquito did spread malaria. December 1902, Ronald Ross got the highest award for the discovery, the Nobel Prize for Medicine. In 1905, even as he lay dying, Ross' last words were, I will find something new. What we have learned. What can you do so that mosquitoes do not breed in your house, school, and neighborhood? How can you find out if someone has malaria? Teacher's note. Tell children that Anna was form of currency used earlier in India.